Alright guys, go and check out this compilation video. Here we go.
How can a man walk away from a child that he has been raising for 3, 5, 10, 15 years simply because the DNA test shows that he's not the biological father?
Huh? Absolutely insane. After being lied to, manipulated, gaslighted, now you want to try to shame the man for possibly leaving a situation where he's not the father after being lied to for what, 10, 15, 20 years, what have you. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So, you know, I just find it fascinating when these modern women try to play these mental gymnastics, try to shame men that have been lied to for so many years. And they're basically making the executive decision to leave a situation that was completely fabricated this whole time, right? So you guys got to understand, modern women that are in these kind of situations that lie to men, yeah, they're in survival mode. They don't care about the man. You know, as a man, you're like 5th or 6th on the list. It goes their child, themselves, family, friends, career. Yeah, you're like 5th or 6th on the list. That's why they try to ask these destructive questions to throw you off, really. So you're telling me you lied to me the whole time about the child being mine. And now that I have the choice to leave the situation, you want to try to gaslight me into staying, right? So any woman that was truly sorry about lying to you would be like, understand where you're coming from. I lied to you. If you want to leave, I get it. Makes sense. Yeah, you would hear that type of language from a woman that was truly sorry about lying to you, right? But the fact that she's trying to ask this question to try to gaslight you and possibly shame you into leaving a situation that you were lied to begin with. Crazy.
When my boyfriend proposes to me, I do not want him to ask my dad for his permission. What I do want is for him to inform both my dad and my mom that he plans to propose and approximately when, out of respect. Nobody needs permission to ask me something. That's a decision for me to make. There's no asking. I am not an object. There will be respectfully informing. There will be a conversation, but there will be no asking permission.
Let me know what you guys think about that, because call me old-fashioned, but I'm definitely asking for permission. Okay, that's just me personally. If you're getting married to a woman, you're getting married to her family as well, right? If the parents don't like you, you know, the father doesn't like you, that's going to be a problem, right? That's going to be a problem down the line. So, you know, the fact that she's basically saying I'm not an object and how dare you ask for permission or so on and so forth. It sounds like she's a feminist, right? It sounds like she's a feminist. You can hear the arrogance in her voice, the entitlement. You can tell that she's going to be a problem beyond the wedding date. I'm just saying. So yeah, you got to take these things into consideration when you're getting married to a woman. It's not just the woman that you're getting involved with, but you're also getting involved with the family.
You literally paid one of my credit card bills. Yeah. And I remember being like, I think I remember telling you, like, I got so comfortable to the point, I'm like, I can't pay my credit card bill like this month. And then you're like, I'll pay it. I'm like, it's been like, what, 2 weeks? Like, what?
No, I'm telling you, like, in my head, I'm like, we're already married. I'm like, yeah, we got to keep your credit good because like, we got to buy a house one day. I'm like, I'm doing this for you, but it's for me. Like, we're buying a house one day.
You're really thinking ahead.
And I'm like, yeah, your credit needs to stay good.
Absolutely insane. I mean, we talk about modern women on the channel, but we also got to talk about these Russell Wilson simp type dudes, right? After 2 weeks, a modern woman is boohoo whining and complaining in regards to her credit card bill. And then you put on your cape and spring into action and pay her credit card after 2 weeks, right? I'm just saying. So, you know, hey, modern women will watch this and call this a real man, right? He's a real man that's not scared of a modern woman. And listen, if a woman is calling you a real man after 2 weeks, yeah, you've done something wrong.
If a man don't like a woman, then he must be the G word or a narcissist. But if a woman don't like a man, she just has preferences. If a man has multiple baby mamas, he must be a deadbeat, or he created a whole bunch of broken homes. But if a woman has multiple baby daddies, she hold her kids down. At least she take care of her kids, and she just had a couple failed relationships. When a man tired or fed up, he just walked out on his family, or he's a punk. or whatever. When a woman fed up and she decides to walk out, she was saving herself. She did the right thing for herself. She was putting herself first. If a man don't got no money, he a brokey. He a broke. If a woman ain't got no money, she's just struggling, right? So men can't struggle.
Boom. There you have it. There you have it, right? But the sisterhood is not going to be pleased with this because you're now going against the grain when it comes to the propaganda. You guys remember Lizzo a few years ago? They were trying to push Lizzo on us, talking about body positivity, this, that, the third. A few years later, come to find out, Lizzo wasn't even content with her body weight to the point where she's now losing weight at a rapid pace. Rapid pace, right? So it's just convenient how the propaganda, or they try to insert the propaganda depending on the agenda that they're trying to push.
I figured it out. I know where all of the men who are seeking emotional connection and mental connection and spiritual connection are. Are you ready to hear where they are? They're at home. They're at the gym. They're at work. They're busy healing themselves and they don't have any more time to be seeking out different people at bars or clubs or out in the streets, because that's not where they are. All right. If you are looking for one, find them at your local grocery store, find them at your local gym. All right. This is where they are because they are focused. They are tired of having women take advantage of them. They are tired of getting manipulated. And apparently they have all just dealt with a lot of narcissist people and they're just sick of it. So they're not even willing to put themselves out there anymore because they're so hurt and they cannot get past certain traumas that they've dealt with. Now, I understand this, all right? And I think that's fair, but I think it's actually a really big problem that everyone's hiding.
Yeah, but are they hiding? Right? I mean, she was making some good points, leading up to that, but it's like, are men hiding from women? Are they purposely trying to hide from women, or are they just simply living their lives? Right? Because we talked about this on this channel. A study came out, the Pew Research Center, roughly 63% of men, if they had the option to date a woman or to just simply be alone, men are choosing to be alone, right? They rather watch paint dry than to go on a date with a modern woman. Right. So it's not necessarily they're hiding from women. They're just realizing that the juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Okay. Because if someone is wanting to connect, and if you want this stability or of emotional connection or mental connection, it's important to put yourself out there. And if you're constantly living in your past experiences, you're taking away so much from your present moment. So I truly understand we are all hurting. We are all still healing. I understand that it's scary to put yourself back out there, but if you're not doing so, you're just gonna stay where you are, and nothing that is meant for you is going to get to you.
All right, so to the guys that still value relationships and marriages, I'm seeing guys still putting themselves out there to a degree, but they're moving smarter now, right? They're moving more smarter. They're grabbing their passports. They're, perhaps dating outside their race, right? They're looking for certain qualities from a woman. They're protecting their peace, right? They're putting things, that are non-negotiables to the forefront in regards to the type of woman that they're looking for. Right? Just because a woman is attractive or she has a big behind, so on and so forth, that's not necessarily moving the needle anymore, right? Because you go on Instagram, I mean, women are half naked everywhere, right? You go to your local Walmart, it's just everywhere at this point in time. That's not moving the needle. That's not moving the needle. Looking at character, their moral compass, who they are as an individual, right? These are the things that are going to move the needle.
Because you are putting up this wall, staying your ass at home, or hiding wherever you guys are, and you're not willing to receive what's meant for you. And I understand women do put these kind of men also in a friends list, in a friends category. And why do you think that is? Because those kind of women also are just not ready for that kind of relationship. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. That's just a sign that that person who you wanted, and I'm speaking to the men right here, the person who you were interested in placed you in that friend category was simply just not for you. You will find your person, but the moment you do get placed into that friend category, keep it pushing, keep on trying. Don't necessarily give up just because that one woman who you wanted did not give in to what you had to offer.
Yeah, but the problem is a lot of these modern women are friend zoning good guys, right? It's not just one woman. It's a plethora of women that will friend zone a man because he's considered a good man, right? We've seen it on the Pop the Balloon show. Women are disqualifying guys that are engineers, guys that are doctors, guys that are making a lot of money, truck drivers, plumbers, electricians, so on and so forth, right? Blue collar guys that make a honest living. And they'll disqualify him because he has a hat on or his pants are too tight or the shoes that he's wearing is not necessarily trendy, so on and so forth. They're disqualifying guys for trivial things.
Because you are enough. You just were not enough for her. And maybe her level is actually down here. And your level, speaking to the men again, is up here. So maybe she just couldn't come up here with you. And that's the thing. Sometimes a man can perceive that as like he's down here and she's up here, when in all truth, it could be vice versa. All right. So if it's just not working out, it's just because you guys are just not on the same wavelength. But you are taking away a lot from your present moment because you're not allowing yourself to experience new moments because you're so focused on your past traumas, and it's so unfair. Like, I need y'all to be present, okay? Just be present and allow yourself to receive, allow yourself to meet, put yourself out there. It doesn't necessarily have to be out at the club or at the bars because that's just not a vibe. But if you see someone or if you feel like there's a possible connection with someone, like, make effort, okay? Because these women also do exist, and they're not gonna be out here knocking on doors, although it's tempting. Although it's tempting because some actually do want a connection, but ain't nobody got time for that. All right, so put in some effort, let go of what no longer serves you, be in the present moment. All right, let it go and allow yourself to receive what's meant for you. So on that note, I hope that you were able to take something from this. And if you have any thoughts, leave them in the comments.
All right, guys, so there you have it. So let me know what you guys think about that. I mean, listen, women are going to have to approach men too, right? I mean, this is what equality looks like. They've been demonizing men for so many years that leave us alone, stop harassing us, this, that, and the third. Men are leaving you alone and protecting their peace. I mean, this is what women have created in regards to the climate of the single data market. It is what it is, right? Make adjustments. How are you going to adapt when it comes to the times and what's happening in the single data market, right? So, hey, if guys want to approach women, they want to approach women. If they don't want to approach women, they're not going to approach women. It is what it is, okay? And there's more guys than ever before not approaching women than there are guys actually approaching women. So again, if these women want men, relationships, to get married, so on and so forth, they're going to have to make an effort too, right? And to the guys that do value relationships and marriages, they're being more selective on how they interact with women.